What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders, bringing you another 7-round mock draft on Mock Draft Monday, brought to you today on the Russell Street Report. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as we go through this, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about some of these draft selections. And I'm going to be eyeing this draft this round, looking for some trades because the Ravens have a ton of picks, and I really want to see them take their shot and move up in this draft. Last year, I was really disappointed in that third round. I know they like Dominic Puny, and they just didn't pull the trigger to trade up and get him. He ends up going to have a great rookie year with the 49ers, being a third-round rookie, and we were stuck with a disappointment, quite frankly, from Adisa Isaac, who they took in the third round. So let's jump into it. Let's keep that in mind as we go through this. Obviously, we'll only be looking to move up if the price is right and if it makes sense. In terms of first-round guys, it's tough because, and he just went there 13 to the Dolphins. The only guy I'd really move up in this first round for is Mike Green. I think he's that good. I think he's the real deal. And, it's a guy that I would absolutely be all over moving up for. So here we land at the first pick, and we got a slip. And this is a great scenario for the Ravens to be in. Armand Membu, a guy that's been a right tackle for the Missouri Tigers. I think he also has the ability to slide in and play guard. So not only will he have that tackle ability, but he could slide in and be your starting right guard. This addresses the guard position right out the gate. There's no more concerns for me about that right guard spot. Armand Membu and Roger Rosengart are two that's your right side solved for a long time if they make this investment. So, glad we could solve that right away. A guy that we looked at last week that I would definitely trade up in the second round for is Princely Unamaya. If he falls, doesn't look like he's going to. So we're going to probably let this second round ride. Omar Narman-Lott's a guy that I would look into trading up for as well. This draft is falling about as well as I could have asked for with Kyle Kennard following. I'm probably one of the higher guys on him than most. He was a transfer to South Carolina. He comes in, he sets a career high with 10 sacks this year. He added 23 hurries, 6 QB hits, and you can see right there, pretty good pass rush win rate. Lower on the run stop rate, but I'm bringing him in the second round to be that edge rusher of the future, trying to keep throwing darts to hit. Curious what you guys will think about Higgins being there, and the second rounds where I really look at some of these guard options as well, but hitting Membu makes me feel pretty good about that situation. So as we kind of roll through here, there's definitely a guy that is in mind for me, and that is I wouldn't trade up too far for him, but definitely a guy worth trading up for a few spots. You see the Packers are picking here at 87. Deone Walker out of Kentucky is on the board, and I might have to give up a pick to move up from 91 to 87 to go grab him. And, sometimes it feels like a waste, but it just, there's something to be said about going up and getting your guy. And you can do it, as you can see, with some of these comp picks. So I could give up the 6th-round comp pick 212, to move up 4 spots, and I get my guy. So I'm going to do that because this is what they don't want to do that. They want 208. Greedy bastards. So we're going to move up and we're going to secure Deone Walker. Trey Harris sitting there. I passed on Jaden Higgins. Now I'm passing on Trey Harris. So I'll be curious what folks think about that. But Deone Walker, there's just not a lot of guys that are 6'7", 340 and move like him. I think he's got insane potential, and it really fits into what I want to see in terms of that makeover. So we've gone through 3 picks. We've addressed our right guard position. We've addressed the edge rusher position, and we brought in a 3-5 tech to get after the passer from the inside. So I really feel good about what we've done with our trenches, and we'll keep looking into how we can address those. This is where I usually like to look for a swing tackle. I'm not seeing anybody down there. Savon Jones is popping out to me, double dipping at that edge rusher position. Another guy with a really good pass rush win rate, super interesting. Oladejo out of UCLA, another one of those guys. But the production just wasn't quite there for me this year, despite the film being pretty solid. I've seen quite a bit of him, especially watching guys on the Oregon O-line. No one's really popping out to me here. And this is where the barren wasteland of the 4th round can really stand out. So I'm actually going to go back and go with Savon Jones, and we're going to double dip. I want to make sure that those corners that I like in these spots aren't gone. They are. We'll probably come back to the corner position here because we do have to bring in someone to compete. I'm struggling here to work the functions. So I'm going to go with Savon Jones. We're going to double dip at that edge rusher spot. And, this is mostly because there's just some bodies in that edge rusher room. Guys like David Ajabo that just aren't doing it. I don't see, I don't think that they have a secured spot on my team. I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to jump out at Elijah Huzzy out of North Carolina. So we're going to bring in a corner there in the 4th round, work him into the mix. I think my biggest concern going through this mock draft is that corner room feels empty right now unless they do something in free agency. And as you can see, we didn't address the corner spot till the 4th round. So I don't feel great about that. We're going to go and get our swing tackle and Jack Nelson. He'll be a popular pick for me. I love that cat. I love the way he plays. It's always a good thing to draft from Wisconsin. Another guy that I'm super high on pretty frequently is Ricky White out of UNLV. Believe he's from Baltimore, so a nice homecoming there. We addressed that wide receiver position, a guy that was a transfer to UNLV and I think has a ton of potential. Jalen Smith out of USC, we're going to double dip at corner. I think that's a slip for him, getting him at 202. I'd feel real good about that if I'm the Ravens. We still haven't really hit that corner or that safety room. So Hunter Wohler, another guy from Wisconsin that I'm pretty popular undrafting, just to kind of fill out some of these needs that the Baltimore Ravens have. So we've hit on our big needs so far. I think we've brought in some pretty good versatility, and obviously we had our trade up there to grab Deone Walker, which I'll be really interested because I left Trey Harris on the board, and that might be a tough one. Is Ricky White at 182 when we could have had Trey Harris, but then we're not hitting that interior defensive line. So this is where balancing so many needs can become tricky, but it's where I'm always interested in what your guys' thoughts are. And I'm going to bring in Tonka Hemingway to kind of round out that defensive line room. So, I feel really good about this draft because what this draft does for me is it addresses the biggest need on this team, which is those trenches. We've addressed that guard position very well, in my opinion. I'm that high on Armin Membu. Kyle Kennard is a guy that, again, I'm just higher on than most. So some folks may not like it, but the production and mostly what I would sell you on with Kyle Kennard is how well he played against Will Campbell in that LSU game. He had a sack and 2 QB hits going on reps against Will Campbell. So that's going against the best tackle in this draft. So I feel real good about that. I'll be interested in what folks think about that Deone Walker pick. But I like that double dip with Savon Jones. Some of the other needs rounding out. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your grade of this draft would be here on this mock draft Monday. I know the weather's been really bad for most of you folks. We got hit with 2 feet of snow over the weekend up here in Ottawa, Canada. So be safe if you're out there. Drive careful. Give yourself extra time if you're being hit with the snow like I was. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And thank you to RSR for bringing you this video.